Let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer on the Built to Thrive Small Business Financial System, specifically covering the Sole Proprietor Maturity Guide. So, you've been running your business for a while, right? And you've probably hit that wall where your trusty old spreadsheet suddenly feels, well, less like a tool and more like a chaotic chore. Yeah, we've all been there. That is exactly what we're going to solve today. Here is a roadmap for today, guiding us from those basic habits to a really cohesive financial framework. 1. Beyond basic tracking. 2. The 5 maturity steps. 3. Your complete financial system. And finally, 4. Your next logical step. All right, Section 1. Beyond basic tracking. If you've already completed the awareness and practice explainers in this series, I want you to take a second and recognize something. You have already done the foundational work. You are absolutely not starting from zero here. You know exactly why records matter. You've started tracking your expenses, you're reviewing them monthly, and you're keeping a close eye on those GST and HST thresholds. Since you've already built up those essential habits, stepping into this maturity phase, it's just the next logical step. You know, a simple tracker is honestly the perfect place to start. But over time, it kind of stops answering the bigger questions. Like, where does everything actually stand right now? When you've got receipts stuffed in one folder, bank statements floating around in another, and a spreadsheet that only looks backwards at past expenses, trying to get a real-time pulse on your business health becomes literally impossible. It also totally drops the ball on those stressful looming questions. What still needs to be reviewed? What's missing as year-end creeps closer? And looking at the cash sitting in your bank account, how much of that is actually yours to keep versus what belongs to the taxman? A simple list is just never going to give you those answers. Ultimately, it forces you to ask yourself a pretty tough question about how you run things. Are you truly organized, or are you just blindly recording transactions without any real structure? There is a massive difference between logging data and building a system you can actually rely on. So the core idea we're looking at is this. Simple trackers help you start. They get you off the ground, which is great. But a fuller system, that's what helps you stay organized across the entire year. It actually helps you understand what your numbers are telling you and prepares you for tax and year-end with way less stress. Moving on to Section 2, the 5 maturity steps. To make this transition, there are 5 core steps to keep in mind. First, just notice when your basic tracking starts feeling incomplete. Second, understand how a fuller system actually connects your data instead of just storing it. Third, move into a repeatable monthly rhythm. Fourth, get the system up and running before that year-end pressure starts building. And fifth, treat the workbook as your next stage in maturity rather than a replacement for what you've already learned. That brings us to Section 3, your complete financial system. Enter the full Sole Proprietor Financials Workbook. This is a total game changer. It connects your initial setup, your bank activity, and your expense adjustments all in one place. It systematically handles the tricky stuff, like home office and vehicle items, year-end accruals, and GST/HST awareness. It even sets up your T2125 reference summaries, your income statement, financial position, and an audit trail. Basically, it wraps all those scattered, annoying tasks into one seamless workflow. In the broader Built to Thrive framework, this workbook serves the tax and financial discipline domain. Keeping this specific area of your business strong is absolutely crucial. It keeps you compliant and hyper-aware of your financial standing, which stops friction dead in its tracks when it comes to your daily operations and your big picture strategy. So, how do you know when it's time to make the switch? Well, a fuller system becomes your good enough baseline when those simple trackers stop answering your main questions. You'll know it's time to upgrade when your monthly reviews desperately need more structure, your tax planning needs way more visibility, and frankly, when the financial side of your business just feels completely disconnected from everything else. All right, wrapping up with Section 4, your next logical step. Your next steps are super straightforward. Go ahead and download the full Sole Proprietor Financials Workbook along with its guide. Take some time to get familiar with how they connect all your data. And once you've got that foundation locked in, you'll be perfectly prepped for the next educational guide in this series. Understand your numbers and use them. I want to leave you with this core thought. The shift we're talking about today isn't from simple to complicated, not at all. It's a shift from basic tracking to a much more complete financial system. Because at the end of the day, clarity reduces friction and structure reduces stress. So take a look at your desk right now. Are your records actively preparing you to grow, or are they just sitting there waiting to overwhelm you at tax time? Something to think about. Thanks for exploring this with me today.